Hey boys, and welcome back to another Bleach Soul video, and today we have a very special video, a milestone on the channel, my 5-year account showcase. And if you don't know, if you haven't been watching for a while now, this is basically an annual thing. I actually have done a 3-year account showcase, and I've done a 4-year account showcase. So you can actually go back and check them out, and see how far my account has progressed over the couple years, the last 3 or so years of me doing YouTube, and also how far I progressed as a content creator in terms of being a bit more confident. You know, 2 years ago, I didn't do my face cam. This time we are. It's a special video, so I got to come up and show it. But yeah, with that said, for this video, I'm just going to be showcasing my account, giving you an insight of how I play the game, what I focus on, and also give you a history lesson of BBS. You know, 5 years. It's half a decade, lads. There's a lot to talk about. So this video might end up being around 20 or so minutes. So sit back, relax, and also join in the comments below. Let me know how many days you actually have been playing BBS. I'm curious to know. You know, so I see a lot of familiar names, so I'm actually very curious on how many days you've actually been playing BBS. So let me know in the comments below. With that being said, lads, let's start the account showcase. Now, just to show it, we will go into my account. Now, you actually maybe notice, if you are an OG player, this background right here, more specifically, and I'm sure everyone has a different one, that just gives you a sense of nostalgia. Now, let's hear it. It's a banger. It's an absolute banger. So if you don't know, if you are an OG player, and you might have a different one, this background theme and music playing right now is actually very nostalgic for me, because when I first started playing the game 5 years ago, this was pretty much like the only background that you could actually use. Because obviously the game came out at New Year's time. This is the one that we did have. It's very nostalgic. I'm actually kind of getting some like, I'm getting a bit sentimental to a certain extent just listening to this, right? But going on from that, let's talk about my account. Level 50, 2,800 orbs saved up, but potentially the Aaroniero return. Let's showcase my account, right? So we are in Darkstar. Big up my boys in Darkstar. A quick recap on my guild history. I started when the guilds first came out. I joined one of Spite's guilds. It was Weebs. I joined that because I thought they were pretty good in terms of the rankings, and we tried our best. We tried to get into S rank. Unfortunately, we just couldn't do it. We had too many people leaving, but shout out to the lads in Weebs. That was basically my first guild. After that, I left it because I wanted to join an S rank guild. I joined Sparta for a week and kind of mugged them off. I left after a week and I joined Tor's Guild, and I've been in there ever since. I've been in there for like, I think a year now. So shout out to my boys at Darkstar, right? Actually being in a guild and being active is actually more fun than, you know, the other guilds where I wasn't really talking. You know, back then in Discord and on, you know, on YouTube too, I was very shy. I was a very shy person, so I never really talked on Discord a lot until I basically started joining Darkstar and I started, you know, talking to all the lads there. But you can see right here, my top 5 characters used is the Squad 0 characters. Now, there is a reason to the pattern. If you don't know, it's actually the exact same order they got revealed in the manga, in the panel, right? That one specific panel. So I tried to recreate it, and I'm very proud of this. I'm going to try and keep it as that. Aaroniero used to be my most played characters, and at a certain point it was also Yoruichi's, but I made sure to get these as my top 5, and I'm very proud of it. It still triggers me to a certain extent that there is no power Squad 0 character. As you can see, there's 2 speed. We were this close to greatness, and they kind of just mugged it. My top 5 most used links is actually Crystal links. I'm not very happy about that, because I believe there was actually a tag team rank queue in here until recently. So now I finally have all 5 Crystal links. I might need to stop using this Keyskate and get the other ones in, so it's just 6-star characters. But we'll see how it goes, right? So I think for most veterans out there, they do have Crystal links as their most 5 used links, because, you know, you want to farm stuff, right? We have all the story done right here. I believe I've done everything but the 1,000-year Blood War story, which doesn't show up here. Versus battle, this is my league. I'm currently in Lieutenant's League. I'm potentially going to start playing a bit more seriously and try and just stay in Captain's League. We'll see how that goes. We did recently just hit 10,000 PvP games won. I believe this win streak right here, the 160, is actually from back in the day, where if you actually lost a PvP game, if you reset your app, it wouldn't count as a loss. You'd keep your win streak. So back when before they fixed it, actually a few years ago, it was basically just who spent the most orbs. And it still is now to a certain extent, but you can lose your win streak. But back in the day, it was pretty much who is playing the most, who is spending the most orbs in PvP. And that's how I got the 160 win streak. My guild score is currently the 42 million. This is obviously I believe 9-second left, so a 51-second run in the current hard difficulty. 1,000 people have actually bested that, which is quite crazy to think about. So shout out to the lads that actually have a higher score. My personal best is this right here. It's whatever. Moving on from that, we have my Senkamon clear time. I tried to shoot for under 20 minutes, so I actually need to go back and potentially fix Warrior's Path. It's 20 seconds away from under 20 minutes, so I might have to go back and fix that. I still actually haven't gone ahead and actually tried to speedrun Cave of Discipline. Might do that eventually. And then Tower of Forging, 27 minutes. I have to go back eventually and fix that, but, you know, I'll do that in the future. Epic Raids, you can see right here, don't really care about it anymore. I'll talk about that too. My pets, I used to care about Epic Raids a lot and used to try and max all the pets, but over the last, like, 4 or so months, you can see right here, 9 out of 13, I just stopped caring. Epic Raids is a massive chore right now. Until they add 5 times Epic Raids, I'm not really going to farm it anymore. I only ever do it now because of my guild. We'll just all get together and we'll complete it as fast as possible. I used to play with randoms, I used to do it on streams and stuff like that, but I am not doing that anymore until they add 5 times Epic Raids, because it is a massive hassle and a grind and I can't be bothered. It's just boring, right? After that, we have my Chronicle Quest progression, finish that, and you can see right here, 1,825 days. Half a decade lads playing BBS. So now what we're going to go is to my accessories and showcase the collector's items that only veterans actually have. So right here, I believe, and it kind of triggers me, am I missing the 2021 New Year's card? I am not sure. I might actually be missing it. Now, obviously, I played during that time because I was streaming and making videos, but I think I never claimed it. But for the most part, I think outside of that one accessory that I kind of annoyed that I'm missing, I have almost everything here, right? I have the first anniversary card, or coin. This is what you got for playing the Japanese first anniversary. I have the 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. And I also have the extra ones. This right here was gifted to players for playing during the 20th anniversary, which is basically when the Burn the Witch characters came out back in October. This is the special pamphlet for the film release, the live action. And then we have the New Year's, so this is 2020, this is 2019, this is 2018, and then this is a special one right here, the 2017 one, where it's the only New Year's card to not have a con. And this right here, if you don't know, is the artwork for New Year's Rukia, and as you can see, it came out in 2017. This character, the New Year's Rukia, didn't come out till the end of 2018. So it basically took us 2 years to get this character, which is quite crazy to think about. So it was about time they showed up, or about time they released her. It took us 2 years to get her, right? Which is crazy to think about. But going on from that, let's showcase my characters, right? My box, for the most part, is absolutely stacked to a certain extent. I tried to link sort all my characters, so you can see a red character level indicates that they have been max link sorted in case you are new. The purple means they are max link sorted and max transcended, and that's why you rarely see any purples. But we got a few characters max transcended. We got a few good ones too. But for the most part, I tried to max link sort every character that I can get in my box. I've been slacking on this game for the last like 2 or so weeks, so I need to start maxing him and you get the orbs from that. I need to max link sort him. Eventually going to start doing that. I took a break link sorting characters. I tried to link sort everyone in my box by this day, but you know, the last month or so, I've just been slacking on IZ. But you can see that we try our best, right? We tried to link sort every character in the game. You were done, but I did sell you because I wanted the Transcendence points. This Hardy Belt I only pulled recently, but you can see that we tried to link sort everyone, right? I did not mean to click on that. When do we start seeing some greens? I believe it's the power characters that I haven't fully done yet. So Sergeant was actually like link sorted. I also sold him and kept the extra dupe that I did have. I need to eventually link sort him. So you can start seeing now that we're starting to see some actual greens. These are just ones I haven't done yet because the Momo only just came out recently, right? More power characters. When do we start seeing this character's a dupe? When do we start seeing greens for not... Okay, there it is. So basically, I've link sorted for the most part everyone until the Dangai release. So I've got a few more characters to do. Overall, in case you are wondering, I have link sorted around 320 characters. And I believe I only have like 80 or so more characters left to link sort. And I still have to max this Byakuya right here. So you might ask why I do it. I find it fun. I actually really enjoy playing PvE. I really enjoy playing co-op too, farming the IZ and stuff like that. So I just find it fun doing it. I think for the most part, I enjoy co-op the most. It's a bit weird to say that because I know a lot of people don't share my same opinion, but it's fun. I like playing the game. I like playing the game a lot. So I just tried to max links on my characters. And we are getting a new way to power character potentially next month. So I want to try and get everyone done by then. Can I do that? Probably not, but we'll try. So what we're going to do now, right? I showcase my accessories. I showcase my account. I showcase my characters, my max links on characters too. What I'm going to do now is give you lads a history lesson of BBS and why I even started playing the game. So to do that, we're going to go back all the way to the bottom of the album, starting at the start of the game. The first couple weeks of Bleach Braces, right? So these characters right here are the raid characters. They came out during the first anniversary when they first introduced 6 stars. They weren't here during the start of the game. I give you a lot of orbs if you are a new player. The frenzy characters, you know, they came out. I'm not sure when they actually came out, but this Byakuya right here was the first character to actually have a vortex. So that's kind of a cool fact. Still a very good link to this day. So for the characters that I'm missing, you can see here that I'm actually surprisingly missing a few characters. Yamamoto and Hachigun, still don't have them. Absolutely crazy to think about. I'm not hunting for them. I could have bought them from the character packs, but I'll do that another time. Going up to here, this character right here was my very first 5-star on this account. Started with him, rerolled for him, because look at him. It's Visor Ichigo. And even to this day, 5 years later, lads, we still don't have a new version, which is just crazy to think about. I don't know how we haven't gotten a new form of him. Grimmjow, I do want to talk about him. If you don't know, back in the day, for the start of the game, this character right here was the best character. There was no debate. He was easily the best character because of his naturing was fast. He also had a range attack on his last hit. He was just overall the best character. And also, in addition to that, he was kind of a NAD-based character, even though he had an attack 40 soul trait, which was buffed. I believe it was actually worse back in the day, right? Essentially, at the start of the game's release, there was only 2 attributes in the game that could actually use chappies, and not everyone remembers that. I can barely find footage of that or proof of it, but I remember clearly that back in the day, Grimmjow was like one of the only few characters that could actually benefit from using a chappie, because they were rare as hell. Not everyone had a chappie. We ain't even talking about golden chappies. We're talking about normal chappies, right? They were very rare. They were easily the most broken accessory in the game, and Grimmjow was the few characters that could actually benefit from getting that. So if you started the game, 5 years ago, had Grimmjow and a chappie, you were easily breezing through content. And even then, it was still pretty difficult, right? And in PvP as well, you didn't really have characters dedicated to that certain game mode. It was pretty much you were good in PvE and PvP, unlike now, where you're pretty much mainly designed to be a PvP character, right? Someone like Ichibei, for example. But going on from that, we actually have a free character right here. This was a Metal Exchange character, and he was actually meta at the start of the game's release because mainly he was a strong attack character that was tech. So obviously back then we didn't have killer advantage, so basically if you wanted to counter Grimmjow, who was the biggest problem in PvP, you wanted to have a tech character that was mainly ranged. So Tessai, who was my option at countering Grimmjow, and it took me 8 weeks to get him, by the way. It took me a long time to get him because you didn't get a lot of medals back then, right? I used him a lot in PvP as my main runner to counter Grimmjows. A lot of people did actually opt in to use this Byakuya because he was also the best character at countering Grimmjow. These were pretty much like the meta back then. It was pretty much just countering Grimmjow and just having attribute advantage. You didn't really care about killer. Killer wasn't a thing back then. It was mainly just having attribute advantage and if you had good range. And these characters, this Byakuya and Tessai, were tech, they were ranged, so they always countered this Grimmjow right here. Moving on from that, there's a very funny story about how I got this Orihime, right? So the way I got her, and the way most people potentially got her, is during the beginner tutorial missions, right? So when you start a new account, you get those tutorial missions, right? Essentially, when they first introduced this into the game, they didn't allow anyone to get it. Only new accounts created after the update actually got this beginner challenges, right? So a lot of people were salty about this, myself included. We were very butthurt about it, rightfully so, right? So beginners were getting special treatment, and at this point in time, I actually divided the community between beginners and veterans. Veterans at this point were asking for special treatment because beginners were getting it. So KLab did the right thing after all the complaints, and they actually listened to the community very quickly, and they changed it so everyone can get it now. So if you started the game before this update actually came out, you were then able to get it, and that's how I got this Orihime. So little fun fact about how that actually came to fruition. Originally it was only for new accounts, players complained, KLab listened, and now at that point everyone was able to get them, right? Moving on from that, we have the newest characters. This Noitora, Nerio, Zayapro, Kenpachi, and Mayuri were actually the very first double chance banner featuring filler characters. This was technically the New Year's banner with the Byakuya, Kain, and Orihime. That was the first double chance banner, but it was only those characters in the banner. So you had a 6% chance to pull a 5-star, and if you did get a 5-star, it was guaranteed to be one of those 3 characters. So they were, at this point in time, they were kind of experimenting on what they want to do, and they finally found their rhythm when they got to this banner right here with the Zayapro and stuff, where they started to introduce filler characters. And it's quite crazy to think about that this was a 5-character banner, right? 5 characters in one banner. To this day hasn't been done. The most we've seen is 4 characters, and sometimes we even get 2 characters right now, right? But this banner, I actually was playing the game back then. I actually pulled a decent amount, I think around 2k ovs. I ended up walking away with the Mayuri, who at the time I wasn't too happy about. Didn't really care about Kenpachi because he wasn't that good. He became good after when 6 stars came out and he got Flurry. The main 3 you were going for was actually the Zayapro, Nelio, and the Noitora. Zayapro was the best character potentially in PvP because he had the dodge rate, he had very fast 9 string. he was a very good character back in the day, right? It was up there with Grimjow. It was pretty much the PvP teams back in the day was this Diapro, the White Day or the normal Mind Aizen, and then also the Grimjow. Those were the three dominant characters, right? And unfortunately, I just wasn't able to make that team. Nelio was a fan favorite. Everyone wanted to go for her. And then Noitora with the forearms was just a massive character. Everyone wanted him, myself included. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get him, right? Also, fun fact about this. I actually finished watching the anime during this banner. And the second the episode finished, I was a bit sentimental, obviously. I did a multi and got my first ever 2-in-1. And it had the Power Sergeant and the Technique White Ichigo. That was my first 2-in-1. It wasn't a banner character, but I was very happy about getting those two characters because I didn't have a lot of 5 stars back then. Not everyone did. It was very rare to have a lot of 5 stars. So that was the first double chance banner. Then we had the Valentine Fiend banner, which was a double around a mid-month banner. It wasn't really classed as a mid-month. It just came out randomly. And this was the first ever banner to feature boost SAs. So that was kind of cool. I actually ended up doing 500 orbs. Didn't get anything. I actually made a Reddit post about that. Here's the picture on screen right there. Then we had the Tessai, Kisuke, and the Yoroichi banner. This right here shafted me. I was very salty about this. I didn't get anyone. And at this point in time, I started to slowly start playing the game less. I wasn't too addicted to it like I am now, so I took a break, especially because JP was a month ahead. So we knew a month after this, we had the Ishin, the Byakuya, and the Yamamoto banner, and I really didn't care about them, so I didn't really play all that much. But obviously, when the time did come that the Byakuya, the Ishin, and also the Yamamoto did come to Global's game, we found out a month later, we were going to get SC Okiura, Full Hollow Ichigo, and the Shuei, and this was the banner that started to kickstart everyone's, like, enjoyment into the game. I started playing the game a lot more, just farming orbs for them, and in fact, I actually was very lucky enough to get this Full Hollow Ichigo, and he was my best character for the longest time. He was the reason why I started playing the game again. This character right here, because I got him on my third multi, I believe. I also ended up getting a 2-in-1, which I did get the Shuhei and also the Speed Nelio. Again, a lot of my go-to characters back in the day. This was the start of power creep, essentially, right? These characters were by far the best characters in the game. Okiura, who I didn't get until the first anniversary, he just had massive AoE and his strong attacks, and he was just very, very good, right? So this was the banner that everyone was hyped for. I think a lot of people, myself included, started playing the game again, and a lot of people started just playing the game for the first time because of those two characters. One of the most hypest moments of BBS in general in the entire 5 years, right? This banner right here with the ranging stuff was a skip for most people. It was actually the first mid-month banner, so I do want to mention that. It was the first ever mid-month banner. This was the second mid-month banner. Then we had the Stark, the Haliba, who I still don't have, and the Yamamoto as an end-of-month banner. Got shafted on that. Very disappointed about that. And then a month after, we had the first anniversary featuring the Soifon, the Shinji, and also the Gin. This was by far one of the best times to start playing BBS because it had 15% rate on the final step. We had the separate banner, right? Very good banner, featured a lot of 5-star characters, and I think many people would agree with me. We walked away with like potentially 40 new 5 stars from this banner. It was absolutely insane. It was the best thing for the game, in fact, because, you know, at this point in time, they started to introduce 6-star characters, and if you didn't pull in this banner, you'd probably had like 10 5 stars. If you did pull in this banner every day, you know, 50 or multis at 6% rates, you probably walked away with like 40 new 5 stars. It was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. After that, we had another mid-month banner. This was the start of the Zanpakuto characters. Didn't really pull them until like years later. I wasn't really the biggest fan of that. Then we had the end of month banner, which was the Shunsui and stuff. That was an okay banner. And obviously, by the time they came to Global, we knew a month after we were getting the best, most hype banner in BBS history. Dangai Ichigo, Full Hollow Ichigo, and Baragon. An absolutely stacked banner. 3 OP characters. They were all great. It was a must summon. I pulled in the banner, worked with Aizen, worked with Baragon, and it took me a while. It took me to TLA Ichigo for me to get my first Dangai Ichigo, right? Going on from that, we had probably the most boring time of BBS. We just had tag team characters, Zanpakuto characters. It was okay. This banner right here with the tag team Rangaku was the first anniversary of Global's banner. Then we started to get TLA characters, very exciting stuff. I think most people skipped the first end of month TLA banner because a month after that is when we got Broken. And we had 6 stars at this point in time, right? So Broken, hence the name, was broken. To the point where they actually added a team effect where if you have 3 Kenpachis in your team, you can test it right now. There's actually a team effect called Broken. So K-Lab were, you know, kind of hip with the community back then. They actually added something which was, you know, unique to the community, mainly to the English community because we came up with the name, right? So that was kind of cool. One of the only times they did do that. I was very fortunate enough to get Broken, I believe in like 4 multis, right? Moving on from that, we have more just okay banners. TLA Ichigo, this was the start of the SP meta. Previously, there's characters coming out. SP characters just were okay. They were they weren't better than NAD characters. NAD characters were the way to go. Just they had the accessories there, they just had the better skills and stuff like that. NAD characters were the meta until this character showed up. A full screen special, Frenzy, and also when he did come out, they introduced the Yukis, they introduced the fortification pills. That was pretty much the start of the SP meta, where you only really use SP characters during just normal PvE play, right? Going on from that, we had Aaroniero banner. Didn't pull him until years later. I actually got him on the 4th anniversary, I believe. So it took me a while to get him. Second anniversary Ichigo was the first original character to the game, and then at this point in time, right after the second anniversary, is when Global started to catch up to JP. So within a month's time, right, we had this banner right here with the Stark Haribel and the Okura, which, mind you, came out like a week or so after the second anniversary. Then we had also this mid-month banner, like a couple of days after, and then we had the end-of-month banner, which was the tag team Ichigo, Renji, and also Koga. That came out within, like, even this Baragon banner right here, I believe all came out within a month. So we got a lot of banners just pushed ahead to us on Glob. It was very rough, but obviously you know why they did it, just in time for the first ever 1000-year Blood War banner. Absolutely, again, one of the more hyped times to play BBS, the first ever manga characters. They were absolutely insane. All 3 characters were amazing. Obviously, I said 3 characters because Byakuya just wasn't that good. No Frenzy, definitely hurt him, but you know, Toshiro was amazing, the Shunsu was amazing, Sajin was even amazing. Obviously, he kind of fell off when Murder Mom came out, Retsu, right? But he was still great. It was just a good time to play the game. Having these characters in the game, playing with them, was just one of the best times playing BBS. Then we had the seasonal banner with the Yoruichi and stuff. That was a very fun banner for me. I got Yoruichi from the ticket. Very happy about that. I actually swept the banner very easily. Soifon came out. She was underrated to a certain extent. Everyone actually was kind of excited for her, but no one like really understood the power that this character had until she came out. Same for me. I wasn't that excited for her until like after. I was like, holy crap, she's actually very good, right? Moving on that with the movie characters. At this point in time is when they started to introduce the you know, the rotation, right? We had the manga banner. A month after we had a movie banner, and then like 2 months later, or like even a month after, actually, we had the other 1000-year Blood War banner, right? This was the second anniversary of Global. Retsu, Kenpachi, Yachiru. This banner actually was very bad, if you don't know. During this time, for the second anniversary of Global, we basically had the exact same filler as the banner previously, I think 6 months ago. It was very upsetting, no one liked it, and just the deeper right now, like, filler is a problem now because we have very limited banners. Back then, we had a bunch of new premium characters, and they just didn't put them on the banner, so a lot of people were salty. This right here, even though the banner was hyped with the 3 new characters, it was probably the worst anniversary we ever had. Like, very bad. It just wasn't a good thing. And also, at this point in time, I forgot to mention it, they started to downgrade step-ups. Obviously, the first ever step-up banner had the 50-odd multi at 6% rate. It had the 15% rates at the final step. Ever since that first anniversary of JP, we started to get downgraded step-ups to the point now where, even now, with the anniversary for the 5th anniversary, we have that step-up model, and it was just bad. Even back then it was bad, now it's bad. It's even worse now, so I really hope they stop giving us that step-up model. And now you can start seeing I'm starting to miss a lot of characters. This was round 3. This was also round 3 of the movie character. Oh, no, this is round 3, but it was movie 4. They actually skipped round 3. It was kind of weird. Then we had the 3rd anniversary with the 1000-year Blood War round 4 banner featuring 4 new manga characters. It was the final round for the most part for an entire year. So you can see here, after round 4 came out for the 3rd anniversary, we just got premium and seasonal characters for an entire year. Absolutely insane. And then right here, where is it? We started to get Comfy World. That actually came out just before the 4th Annie. And then 4th Annie came, we got the Mugetsu and the Full Hollow, and then 1000-year Blood War made its return. And this right here was very important for me because during the 4th anniversary is where I started to take YouTube kind of seriously. I started uploading videos around, dare I say, the 3rd anniversary. I think it was around, yeah, it was this banner right here. This 1000-year Blood round 3 was actually my first ever video, my summon video. If you go back to the channel, you can see it. That's when I started to upload YouTube. I did Guild Quest videos. I just did random summon videos. And then the 4th anniversary is where the algorithm just pushed me. I was getting recommended a lot of people started subscribing, and it was really because of the 4th anniversary is why I'm even doing YouTube right now, because I was able to get a following, and I was able to upload the motivation that I wanted to upload BBS every single day. So for the most part, since the 4th anniversary, I've pretty much uploaded every single day. Obviously, there's a few days I've missed out on a lot of that stuff, because sometimes it's very hard to upload BBS content, but that was the best time for my channel. My voice is starting to go now. One sec. Oh, I'm crying. I'm choking, fam. All right. Moving on from that, though, right? So after the 4th anniversary, the timing was just perfect too. So my channel started to get a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new traction, right? And like a month after, we got Aaroniero. So this was like the most fun time for me playing BBS 2. Aaroniero's new character, he looked amazing. At this point in time, I had 4,500 subscribers. Very excited about that. Updated my banner art, updated my profile picture with this Aaroniero. I was very excited about that. It was a journey to get this character. Obviously, as you know, it took me a lot of orbs. I spent around, I think 3-ish K on the main banner, and then I spent 3K on the individual and didn't get him. It was only then until I was actually going toilet, I was on the number 2, taking a, you know what, and I said, okay, I have 25 orbs, let me do a single. It was a 5-star, I started recording, and it was him. So very excited about that. Moving on from that, we started to get the other 1,000 banners. This was actually, they started to appear a lot often. This was the start of like the power creep that we know, where every character started to get berserker. Flurry started to become a normal thing with this starting with this Hiyori. You basically, all the meta that we know now all started right after the 4th anniversary with these kind of characters right here, right? Every character started to get Flurry. At this point in time before that, not every NAD based character had Flurry, right? Let me show you an example. Who would it be? This Shuntu, for example, had Poise, but no Flurry. So around this time is when we started to get the meta that we know right now. I've actually pulled a lot of characters. Curfew Round 4 was an exciting banner. Tokiana was the first time he appeared in the game. Very exciting. 2 fan favorite Espadas too. And also this is the time we got the new opening. The new opening was actually the one that spoiled the new designs for Baragon and Halibel. So we actually knew what they already looked like before we actually saw them in game, which was kind of exciting. Then we had Squad Zero. This is the first ever manga exclusive characters got introduced to the game. Yuha Bark was also the first character, the first manga exclusive character into the game, but at the same time he already had a voice actor because it's basically just Zangetsu's voice actor. But you know, Squad Zero was the first ever characters that didn't have voice actors. They went out their way to hire someone new. In addition to that, let's go back to this banner right here. The Yamamoto was also a character that they had to rehire a voice actor. Not everyone thought, we never thought we were going to get this character because, you know, unfortunately his voice actor died, right? So it was very surprising to see him get a new voice actor, and it's very surprising just to see him in the game, and very exciting too. So that was actually a cool moment for the 4th anniversary. And also at the same time, this banner was leaked before the banner even came out. We literally just got off the news of the Mugetsu and Full Hollow, and literally within like an hour, the 1,000 Yabara Round 5 banner was leaked featuring the Soifun, Aizen, and Yamamoto. So a lot of the people actually skipped out on the 4th anniversary banner because, you know, manga characters made their year-long return. It was kind of exciting. Moving on from that though, let's talk about other upcoming banners. So that was the first of Squad Zero. Then we started to get Confueled, the Truth banner. So this is actually Confueled characters that were following the story. Haven't put anyone in that banner. We had the Squad Zero characters, you know how to get them. We got more Confueled characters. Then we got the first ever Desert Society banner. This is only like a year ago, so I think this is a lot fresh in a lot of people's memories. Then we got the first ever Stun Richters. Very exciting time right there. Going on from that, we had the 5th anniversary. Amazing characters. For the most part, this was actually like the first ever like broken anniversary characters. Like if you go back, right? So let's quickly go back to the 2nd anniversary. Very exciting. Design-wise, he's probably the most boring of all of the anniversary characters. I mean, he was cool at the time, but like, yeah, he's just not cool anymore, right? I mean, I think some people still like him, but he's all right. So he was actually one of the best characters in the game when he first came out, but he fell off very quick, right? Even the 3rd anniversary Okiura, he's alright to this day, still very usable, but like, he had his problems. He was the first no affiliation killer, I believe, which was a very niche even back then. Now it's starting to become a bit more common, but you know, he was just an okay character at the time, started to fall off a bit, and then started to re-arise with the no affiliation enemies becoming a bit more common. Then we had Quincy Ichigo, obviously the infamous character that, you know, range collision. After that, we had the 4th anniversary characters. Full Hollow was exciting, but very bad at the time of his release. Like, he was a PvP character made to counter Retsu, who was already starting to not be meta anymore thanks to Noritora. So he wasn't really that good. Mugetsu still holds up to this day. He's actually the one that's actually worth an anniversary-esque character. But now, you know, going to the 5th anniversary, these are characters that got special treatment, that it's going to be a while before we see any kind of character outclass them. Even now, like, no one really outclasses these two characters. They're the best in that attribute. They're just amazing characters, right? And then after that, you know, we have basically the last 7 or so months of BBS. We started to get Fierce Battle characters, Confuel, the final round that we thought was going to be the final round, but it wasn't because we're getting round 9 and 10. Then we got the Burn the Witch characters. We got Gremmy, Lily, missing them. More Fierce Battle characters. Then we had the 10 years later version, also you know how to get them. And that right there, lads, is basically the account showcase. An account showcase, my 5 years of playing BBS. Also, a very long history lesson going through the album of the characters that I did have. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. How long was it actually? Let me quickly double check. So, according to my recording, it's 33 minutes long. So, if you made it to the end, shout out to you lads, right? My voice hurts. I'm probably going to stop talking for the rest of the day. I just wanted to make an account showcase because I've done it for the last 3 or so years. But also, I just want to say thank you to you guys watching the video. Like, it means a lot being able to record videos every single day, uploading BBS. You guys have made this game more fun for me. I definitely would have still been playing, but I play the game a lot more because I have an obligation to a certain extent to upload content for you lads, right? That kind of makes sense. So, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. I know it's a long one, but like I said, if you stay to the end, shout out to you lads. It means a lot. That being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.